Hello YouTube, Reddit Math here, and welcome back to the Red Estate. We've got our level 2 guys getting a week off, mostly removing some diseases and a few of the more deadly negative quirks. Once they're done with that, I think it'll be time to probably just run them through some upgrades, assuming we've got enough gold for it, and then we'll probably be taking on our first boss. But that is something better left for next episode. For this episode, I think we're going to take the glorious gold back out, and the Weald makes the most sense, you know? We need deeds to get the blacksmith upgraded, to increase our roster size, so yeah, totally makes sense to head back there. We do, of course, have the first boss in the Weald already ready, the Wizened Hag, but I say we just keep pushing it. We'll pick up another Haste Chalice, not really all that amazing considering how many chalices we have, but it's something, and we'll figure out something to do with it, I'm sure. By the time we're done here, all of our vessels will be quite hasty. A little bit light on gold. I maybe overspent with the quirk removal, but I really wanted to get it done this week so that those guys wouldn't be down for the count again next week. And I think we'll be fine here, right? I can make do with 8. Then it would just be a matter of like 2 of each. That'll be more food. At least 1 key. That should be fine. Why don't we go ahead and go for Baroque and grab like 1 more of those. Sure, why not? Alright. I think that provisioning should be a-okay, and we'll go ahead and get it done. I was originally planning on heading into the ruins, which is why I put this crew together, thinking, of course, that a strong crusader with his smite ability would be very helpful. But just looking at the heirlooms that we need in the beginning, man, it's all about them deeds.
Our land is remote and unneighbored. Every lost resource must be recovered.
I remember in the beginning, early on in the early release, when the cove was still locked, each of the areas gave you 2 heirlooms, and they would give you crests and insert something else here. But of course, there are only 3 other types of heirlooms, and there were 4 areas. The Cove and the Weald. Oh wow, we found our secret door right away. Tell you what, let's go ahead and push down to here. We did get the scout in there, but I need to check this curio before backtracking, and then we'll check out the secret room at that point. So both the Weald and the Cove showed that they were going to give deeds and crests as a reward. Oh man. And the game seemed, especially early on, to kind of favor your need for deeds quite a bit. And I always sort of assumed that that was going to sort itself out. But it never really came to be that way. What? Let's just go for the stun here. Anything we could have done to him, he probably could have done worse back to us. Alright, not too bad. And, okay. And so we've ended up in this place where I still feel like the early game is the deed game. That's all that matters, because so much of what you need to...
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
So much of what you need to do early on to continue the onslaught requires that you have deeds to do it. You're kind of stopped from expanding one way by your inability to upgrade the blacksmith. You're stopped from expanding the other way by your inability to upgrade your roster. I was at the low end of 4 to 8, eh?
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Maybe? Does have a pretty terrific trinket there for Blight, so we were able to get it. with the 4 guaranteed damage. We just need to do 7. I think we should pretty easily be able to do 7. In fact, let's see if we can pretty easily guarantee that we can do 3. Yeah, alright. And that means I can instead basically try to get a free heal out of all this without any cause for concern. Actually, wait. Will I get a stalling penalty from that? I think I'll get a stalling penalty from that. Alright, not too bad. A bit of stress relief anyway.
Death by inches.
Okay. And marching on. We're already taking up 2 inventory slots of torches. Might as well keep that one full. Maybe I really am overpacking with torches. Maybe I should limit myself to just 8 on any dungeon run, expecting to pick up more along the way. Surprised, you say? This always scares me a bit. I'm also longing for the days in which surprise just meant you got a free turn. Oh, how I miss that. Indeed. You know what? Let's see if we can't reshuffle this guy forward. Awesome, we can. And not quite gonna do the job, but because he's stunned, he'll die from the blight before he gets to act next turn. Good. Actually, an excellent dodge on the mark prey. Well, the harmless swipe does 3. That didn't feel very harmless. The not harmless swipe only does 5. Oh, man. Okay. You're gonna die. So you know what? Let's try to do the same to you back here. Awesome. 12. And then if we can pull you forward. Failed to do so. Alright. Well, the stun and the blight.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
The stun and the blight certainly synergize well with each other, giving 2 turns to take that damage. Not in love with groping swipes, but it'll be okay. We do 8 here. Puts it down into 5 territory. Wow.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
That was pretty savage, Savage Beat. I'm not gonna lie. You're living up to your namesake there. Alright, and you know what? Let's just get you killed, shall we? I'd say we're actually managing this damage pretty well. It did 9 that turn. A little bit higher than it had been. But if we toss out stuns... You know what? Let's think this through. I'm going to try to see if I can maybe super manage these guys. Stun that one. Hit him. We keep one of them stunned every turn. I think we will outperform their damage numbers pretty easily. Okay. You'll die from blight pretty quickly here. We'll just try to get a stun on the guy in the back. And then, yeah, I think it's really coming down to our better speed. Meaning that these guys aren't doing much to us. I'm gonna take 4. You're gonna die exclusively from that. You know, let's spread a little love. Okay. That'll be his last attack, and he would get 1 more. Good. Managed to come out of this with full health for our Crusader. Totally digging it.
Masterfully executed.
And they will now both die before they're able to do anything to us. Nobody has any... Yeah, no self-buffs, so really no reason to keep these guys around.
Formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
And we came out of that in a pretty positive way. I'm not going to use the key on this heirloom chest just so that we have it for our secret room. Basically step out here for our mummified friend. And then I'm just going to backtrack and avoid this unnecessary fight. Stop stepping on my feet. Jeez. You would think the savage beat would be better on his feet. Not just because it rhymes, but because you would assume that he did a lot of dancing. I don't know. Alright. Now this is probably going to lead to some inventory malfunction before we are done with this place. I'm not going to be surprised anyway. And here we go. I will remember.
Terrors may indeed stalk these shadows, but yonder, a glint of gold.
Nice. Oh, that's foreboding. While we still have Dismas back at the estate, we recover his severed head in a sack out in the Weald. You know, doesn't that point even more towards the sort of timey-wimey ball explanation for what's going on here? That we found this was an ancient chest, right? Like, that it had been here for a very, very long time? Alright. Well, we are also going to be puzzled by the trapezohedron, as well as the question of where exactly Dismas's head came from. Gonna move on. And another fight for our troubles. Alright. Let's see if we can't combine this with some flashing daggers for an early kill. Not before he gets a blanket fire off. That is disappointing. Well, you know what then? Oh man, that is also disappointing. Flashing daggers it is.
Give them no quarter.
Okay. Yeah. They both do equally well in the first and second rank. I'm not too concerned there. We are racking up some pretty gnarly debuffs though. What? My thought was I want to put him down into easily killable territory with something like that. Nice. And then let's just get you back on. You know what? Actually, entire party's kind of hurt. Let's just get you back on everybody healing duty. Ugh. 6 isn't exactly what I was looking for there. Come on, Kane. You can do it. I got faith in you. Now. We are right where he wants us, but he is not right where we want him. Actually, kind of hard to hit in the back here. So, well, when I say, of course, that they're equally useful in both ranks, but I would have been able to throw a flashbang and shuffle this guy had I not been in the front. I could get 2 more on him, but I cannot. I'll just do one of those. And for the kill. Beautiful. Just throw out one of these. How I miss the days of stress relief from corpses.
Cuts on its own.
Alright, and there we go. I've been here before. Probably gonna need to camp the next time that I encounter a chirurgeon's satchel. Otherwise, I'm looking to run out of space pretty quickly. The nasty blight, let's just take care of that. And not too choked up over the hunger events. In fact, let's take this as an opportunity to just go ahead and get ourselves an open inventory slot. We might also if we were smarter, be a little bit concerned about the likelihood of perhaps a collector showing up, considering how full our inventory slots are. We're not that smarter, man, so it's okay. Oh, come on. Left her with one. Fine, fine. Less fine. Oh, and she gets to go first. Okay. Well then. Say what? I'm just gonna stun you. Nice. Probably just rely on flashing daggers to get the kill here. And you know what? Let's rob this guy of an next turn as well. Alright, easily done. Of course, lands the 5 on her that turn when we did not need it. Yeah, not too bad. From back here, let's maybe see about getting her up. Stop and scratch. He's going to be doing that for a few turns at least. We'll take down our stressful enchantress as quick as possible. Maybe get this into a nice equilibrium where we can spend a little time healing. I can dig it. Good dodge. Don't forget, Rose is a grave robber. I would still probably argue that they're one of the best tanks in the game. She is not exactly designed to be using Shadow Fade right now, as I don't want to swap out with a Vestal. But she's still extremely dodge-oriented. Doesn't quite do it. You know what? Instead of healing, wow, never mind. I was gonna say instead of healing, we'll just get that kill. But Rose comes through in the clinch and continues to dodge. Stun one of you. Nice. Killed the other one. Spend one turn healing. Or stun the other one. Can't really heal now though, right? I mean, we can kind of heal now. We can heal a little bit. Oh, wow. That's actually quite a lot. Maybe bring you a little closer. Thank you. That is actually perfect. Might as well do that again. Didn't get the 3s, but it's not bad. 5 for both of those guys. Rose is now at max HP. And well rested, she's able to do that. I can dig it.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Okay. We're here for the deeds, so should probably take them when given the opportunity, right? Why don't you just sprinkle some holy water on your armor or something in some kind of ritualistic manner, and we'll keep moving. Oh, the church and satchel, huh? Alright, how far are we from the end of this? Oh man, nowhere near the end of this. Okay, time to dump something. Time to dump a bandage, I think. Or a portrait. Let's say a bandage. And yeah, I think I'm okay with that. If we'd been a little bit closer to the end, I might have, followed through on my earlier promise to actually camp. But I don't think 4 combats would really lead us through to the end of all this. Bad dodge. Okay. Yeah, not the worst. The dodge debuffs are not my favorite, but we will live. Okay. Actually pretty good. Can he... I don't remember. Can he only rush shot when he's in the first 2 ranks, or only when he's in the first rank? We're about to find out. Nice. Actually, we're not about to find out. He is never going to get the opportunity. I'll tell you what, as long as all this guy's going to be doing is rush shot, It does move him back. And it also did 4. Considering that's supposed to be like a you've rendered him useless kind of attack. 4 damage is actually nothing to sneeze at. Try again for the stun? Wow. Resisted both. Oh, is it 80% stun resist? Probably should have taken that into account, huh? It's okay. Another rush shot. 2 damage. That's a little better. I can accept 2 damage is a reduced effectiveness type attack. You're gonna die before you do anything. Stun you, and then maybe get like a little bit of damage on you. We don't need that much healing, to be perfectly honest.
Slow death, unforeseen, unforgiving.
That's good. 7, 15, 6 to 12. We'll just throw out a mark instead. Do some protection. Okay. That'll ensure he dies this turn. Nah, didn't get the heal.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
And... nice. Don't have room for the crest. I'd say we need crests more than we need 500 gold. Let's keep a walking. Might want to, maybe I'll burn through my torches next. And then camp once... oh,
Nature herself, a victim to the spreading corruption, malformed with misintent.
The thorniest of thickets there. Jeez. I was gonna say, maybe I'll burn through my torches, like ASAP, and then once my torchlight starts to get down after that, I can camp. That might be worth a while. Okay. 2 curios coming up. Any one of these could be our quest goal. Now out of room for gold. I do also like gold.
In radiance, may we find victory.
Go ahead and toss our final torch. And, you know what? Brought all these medicinal herbs. I suppose we should see what our actual reward is going to be before I start using up all my food, though, right? Alright, 6 food. Actually worked out surprisingly well. Alright, in we go. Simple well, I say simple. I started to say simple ectoplasm fight. But we all know these guys have some real mean buddies that they can start bringing out. So why don't we try to get you all killed on the very first turn. Thank you. Somebody up there is looking out for us.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Awesome. And we get the stress relief on really the only character who needs it. And then... I mean... we don't need to heal at all.
Gathered close in tenuous firelight and uneasy companionship.
But let's just take our buffs and go, basically. That's interesting. That Sanctuary has been changed to have so much to do with the Death's Door debuff. Extra scouting. Wait, where's this? 30? Is this 35? What is this? Is this income inequality like right here, right now? That's a little weird. Okay, that's fine. I guess Scout Ahead is just better than Night Moves. Probably should have noticed that sooner. I mean, we can take them down to 0 stress. Wow, I really don't have any of the big buffs that I would normally want. Oh wait, that's 2, and that's time cost 3. Okay, so for the 1 more time unit, he's only getting 5% more scouting. Maybe that's not quite so great. And throw a chant out here. We'll prevent our nighttime ambush. Maybe not the most useful of campfires. Maybe I should take a little bit of time to actually get my camping skills for everybody.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
That would, of course, require me to have the extra gold to do it.
Ambushed by foul invention.
Which I don't exactly have at this point. I can totally dig the extra torch, as I am now out.
The light, the promise of safety.
And have used my last campfire, but we easily find our quest goal. Now, do I want to push on? That is an excellent question. I tell you what, I think the answer to that is no, ultimately. If you are not playing on New Game Plus, I think you go for it. But if you are, I think it is perhaps not worth it.
The darkness holds much worse than mere trickery and boogeymen.
Simply because the chance of dying like outweighs any potential benefit, really.
These tonics and herbs will stave off infection and neutralize contagion.
At least in a gameplay mode in which your deaths are ultimately limited. Only came out with 8 deeds. Is that enough? What do we need? 17? Is 17 a number that I'm remembering for any particular reason? Those are actually both pretty decent, though. Is 17 a number that I'm remembering?
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Oh, I'm probably remembering how many crests I needed here. Okay, so we need 26. We are 1 deed short. Had I remembered that, I probably would have pushed on to get the 1 more deed. Okay, not the worst thing in the world, though. We only have 11,000 gold. That's a little bit less than I would have liked. But we're getting quite a few of our characters up into the level 2 range. And I want to reserve all of my level 2 characters for boss runs. Let's see. Oh, sort by level. We've got a decent level 1 roster still. Enough healers to be getting the job done. Okay, we're actually fine there. We can probably stand to kind of tinker around for a little bit at level 1 still. Okay. All in all, not too bad. Man, I really wish I would have gotten that 1 extra deed so that I could start working on blacksmith upgrades. Oh well. Also, gold proving to be a little bit of a complication, even with the secret room and the puzzling tetrahedron and all thingies, whatever they were. Still not bringing a ton of gold back. Maybe need to be a little bit more conservative with how I'm spending it in town, but we'll wait and see on that. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, feel free to subscribe for more on the channel every single day. Leave a like or a comment if you have anything to say about this or any of my other episodes, and I will catch you guys next time.